Hello, hello, beautiful soul family tribe. Happy Lionsgate. Going to give this live a moment to see if anyone is available to make it here today live. If you're watching the replay, this is a perfect time to just breathe and relax and prepare to receive what is going to come through today. I have a little bit of an idea, but we're just going to kind of spontaneously be flowing in the present moment. I have some messages and some things I want to share, and then the Golden Heart meditation. That's what came into my heart today when I was sitting in the sun. I was wanting to, I just feel so blessed to have this community, and I'm so thankful for all of you and all the beautiful people in my life. So I just wanted to give something today for the Lionsgate and just in general. So that was what came through is this Golden Heart meditation, which will be very healing and activating for us and the whole collective. So if you want to take a moment to arrive, breathe, relax, drop into the present moment. If you're live, feel free to say hi in the chat or share anything that is on your heart today. Grounding into the body, to the present moment, into these energies right now. Feeling your heart, feeling your breath. Setting any intentions, if you have any intentions for this stream. And let's just flow together. And even if you are on the replay, it's still, you're still connected to this live. Yeah. Beautiful. So I'm just going to dive in. I know it's kind of been a while since I've been live. It's been such a busy time for me, and I feel like for many of us, um, I think that's kind of typical for like the summer. But wow. So I just want to share some of the things that I've been going through and whatnot, things I've been learning and seeing, and usually that, is helpful and resonates. Hello, love. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. I know it's been a while. I love the heart emojis. It's so cute. Okay, let's see where to dive in now. I do want to start again just by saying thank you all so much for being you, for being here. It's such a miracle. Don't underestimate. It's so important to give yourself credit, especially in these times when we're growing. We're just growing so exponentially. It's incredible. And this Lionsgate energy, whether it's Lionsgate, I know there's a lot of things going on. Seems like there always is, but especially right now, it's like 110 in the shade, so to speak, figuratively. It just feels, at least for me and a lot of the people I've been talking to, it just feels like so intense, or it has been. And for me, I feel like, again, there's a lot going on. The full moons, we got a blue moon this month. Um, Yeah, it's been so intense, but today I feel like this huge release. It feels like such a release. Um, and so I'm very grateful for that. But I guess I kind of want to start off by saying, as a reminder, if you've been feeling this intensity, if you've been feeling like it's just raining ego deaths, if you feel like, yeah, with the ego death, like old parts, just it feels like almost like dying and being reborn. Like I feel a strong rebirth energy, like in really intensely, for me at least, and for the people in my life. Um, with this evolution, feeling like you're being like stretched. I think that's kind of how it feels. Is it's like feeling like we're being like pulled and stretched into like these new states of being, this new territory. And it's kind of a lot of times it's this kind of process of like, um, with the ego deaths, it's almost like a twofold process of like, oh my God, all these things that I thought were so important don't really matter. Oh my God, it's so painful. And then you move through that. And then it's like, oh my God, all these things that I was worried about aren't even important. I'm so happy. It's just this weird stuff with the ego death. You just kind of have to go through it. Um, that's just been my experience. A lot of things, if you've been feeling maybe patterns coming up or things that, you thought that you've already passed. I feel like I've been feeling a lot of that as well in the collective. Just a lot of releasing. It's like it feels like this huge pressure bubbling up, and it's so uncomfortable, especially if you're like a really sensitive person. It's like, oh my God, it feels like such pressure. Like it's like unexplainable almost. Um, but in those moments, it can be so uncomfortable to say the least, especially like mentally. I feel like this time around, it's like what's going on, up is down, everything feels kind of confusing. And, there's parts of us that seem like they're, I don't know how to explain it other than dying. It's like there's parts that are like, no, they're kind of just tired. Like it's like these things that we thought we were working on, just everything kind of gets kind of crazy in moments like that. And so thankfully, if you have this awareness, it doesn't always maybe make it much more comfortable, but at least that it's just part of kind of like this cycle, you know. And so it's not permanent. It's very temporary when you're in those states, and then it's like, at least for me in this case with this Lionsgate, building up. I could feel that energy kind of building up, coming up, that pressure, and now it just kind of feels like a release. It feels like free falling almost. It kind of feels like going up the roller coaster, that kind of anxious feeling of like, oh God, what's happening? What's going to happen? We're going to drop. And then, then you kind of drop down. So yeah, I feel like that's been kind of a theme, as usual, just um, being authentic, especially with the lion energy, Leo, it is, the heart that's associated with Leo, with the lion, the heart, the sun, the light, the most bold and courageous energies coming through. So I feel like maybe that's another thing. And I did set those intentions, even for myself. So that's probably why it's so intense, of just trying to come back to more of that within myself, and releasing these attachments or fears or things, that are no longer serving me. So, yeah, another thing I want to share is it's such a blessing. I feel so grateful to have community and to have friends and family in my life that, um, I just can't emphasize how much of a blessing that is. And I truly wish that for everyone. Finding your tribe, people that are truly that truly have love for you and are here to encourage you and support you, especially through, moments that might feel crazy or discouraging. It's such a blessing to have people that can just remind you of who you are and how beautiful you are. I'm very blessed to have people and friends in my life like that. And I wish that for everyone. And that's, one of the reasons why I'm here is to be that for others as well. Another theme that keeps coming up is just kind of like to give is to receive. It's like these are two sides of the same coin. So it's so beautiful when we give love. It's like we're also receiving love. And when we receive love, we're also giving love. When you set loving intentions for others, um, not that I don't think there should be any kind of like necessarily motive, but it's just kind of a natural thing. When you send love to others, you will receive love back. So it's such a beautiful, abundant force love is. And I know I've been talking about love a lot, but it really is so important. And I feel like sometimes maybe people think that like I'm too soft or something, because we live in this world where everything is going so insane. Obviously, I mean, it's like complete absurdity. There's so much freaky stuff and evil agendas, and I'm not turning a blind eye to that. I'm seeing that it's just for me personally, and I'm open to, other people's perceptions. But for me personally, the more I see it, the more I really do see that love is the solution, real love, like not just being necessarily passive about it, but again, it's like all of these systems, all of these things, it's like they were created in states of fear and scarcity and separation. And so the way I see it is that, it's like you can't solve that problem in the same state of being that they were created in. That's just how I see it. And we are such magical beings. That's something that I love, and that I tap into every day that I can. It's just like our power, what magical beings we are, the things that we can do and create is truly incredible. So I just find again and again and again that it's from that space that we truly make such ripples and shifts in this world, versus coming at it from like these states of fear and lack and separation. This is just my observation. So that's something that I try to keep at the forefront, and continually find this balance of not turning a blind eye to these things, not avoiding these things, not escaping these things, but really getting to the core of these things. And I'm just, I've been very humbled to find that oftentimes it's not what I thought it was. Even love, shining love upon things. It's not always what we necessarily think it is, what our ego thinks it is. It's a very deep force. Love is a very deep force that can penetrate anything. And love is not weak. Love is not weakness. Love is very strong. When you have love for yourself and for others and what you're doing, it's like this powerful force that keeps you connected to God's source. I've said before, like Yeshua, Jesus, that's something that I feel in my heart, is how, he and beings like him were able to walk the earth as they did, whether it was, assisting others and healing others, or looking evil straight in the eye without any fear, was because they were so connected to this God source love within them. There was no insecurity, there was no separation, there was no lack. So personally, that's what I'm really kind of all about right now, is how can I live in that, practicing living in that. Again, whether it's something beautiful and tapping into this light and this healing energy, or whether it is looking evil in the eye, and not giving my power away to it out of, again, this fear and the separation, when we are God's source. It's like God sent us here. Like, we're here for a reason, like not here to just be like, scared of all the shadows and stuff. It's like we're here to see the shadows and to be the light. That's truly how I feel and how I see things. So that's what I talk about here. Um, integrating this love and this presence into our lives. And something interesting about our lives is that we are multidimensional, and especially right now, everything is so spiritual. It's insane. Like, that's honestly part of like what just like blows me away. And even sometimes like it is like, I don't want to say exhausting, but it's just strange. It's just strange. It's a huge shift that's happening with like, there's, it used to be like, um there wasn't so much spiritual stuff as there is now. It feels like, where there's spiritual stuff everywhere from every different level. It's like, it's kind of trippy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, so we're very multidimensional beings, and we're very much throughout our day walking through these different um, states of awareness, and in this case I would even say like different dimensions. Again, like I talked about in a couple videos ago, freedom equals your awareness. Walking through 3D, 4D, 5D, these different levels of being, different states of consciousness throughout our day. And it's very strange, because these are very different states of being. So when you're in these different states of being, you're literally shifting in different dimensions. And we're kind of, at least for me, I feel like learning how to like walk in this. It's so strange. So when you're tapping into like this higher consciousness, like 5D, it's like it's strange. Everything feels like very unified and very simple and just heavenly. I don't know how else to explain it. But then when you kind of come back more into like 4D, it's like an absolute shit show. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So it's like walking in these multidimensional perspectives where you're seeing, both at the same time, these different densities. This is just, again, something I experience, and learning how to kind of navigate that with grace again, tapping into this love, this loving energy, such joy, such bliss that we have access to, again, in this union with God, in this like fifth dimensional awareness. But then also, there's things that I don't think we can necessarily bypass as we're walking throughout our day as physical beings on the earth in 3D and 4D. We're always navigating these all kinds of situations, um, you know, that there's intense, not only intense contrast, but there's like this, like, on these lower levels, these like spiritual battles that are playing out all the time. So it's really strange to hold these different awarenesses at the same time and just, again, continue to move through them. For me at least, I continue to move through them. Like I kind of talked about in the last video I posted, just trying to have this awareness, and have this presence and this flow with everything. Because even if you make a mistake, it's like you learn from it, but don't get hung up on it. You don't need to get hung up on it and dwell upon it. Um, and that's another reason why it's so beautiful to have good people in your life to remind you as well of, to just keep flowing with it. Because, sometimes other people will almost do the opposite. There might be people or entities that want to keep you focused on those mistakes or make you feel like you're a bad person or that you're not doing good enough. And again, I feel like that's an initiation that many of us are going through as well, just to remember your integrity. Remember your integrity within you, even if other people are questioning it. That kind of gets back into this lion energy of being real and being authentic and being yourself, and this overcoming, uh, you know, overcoming a lot of the insecurities and fears we have about what other people will think or say or do, when we are authentic. It's strange, but that one I feel like can be very deep, and it's such a beautiful lesson, even though it can hurt so much sometimes when we get triggered, just to bring your power back. Bring your power back. You are allowed to be you. You are allowed to be all of you. One of the most important things I think we can all do right now is speak the truth and speak our truth. So I mean, speaking the truth, speaking the objective truth of what's happening, and speaking your truth, as in speaking, what's your unique gifts, your unique experiences, your unique songs, your unique, flares, at the same time. This is so important. I think our expression, opening that throat chakra, because it's been so blocked for so many. Our voices have been kept down so long. So I feel a lot of that also with, this Lion's Gate, and just in general, I feel a lot of that heart and throat energy just like coming up. So we can, speak the truth and resonate it into reality, and remember ourselves, remember our light, remember our power, remember our expressions. Because the more you do that, it's like you're going to get more momentum. And again, there might be more people that may try to even attack you for that, but just remember to stay in your heart, stay in your light, stay in your power. I think that's such a beautiful lesson and beautiful expression. I love the trees, love. And Chi Dante, yeah, thank you. It's not as it seems often. It's a revelation of the occulted underneath culture. The strongest soul song vibe wins, and to have no losers is what makes yours impeccable. However, to accept the unacceptable is a disgrace. We can't believe in that. Wow, that was poetic. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So I think that's everything I really wanted to share on that note. There's just such an abundance of information, so much information. I don't know. Maybe it's this Aquarian energy. We just had a full moon in Aquarius. Um, my son is in Aquarius, but that full moon rocked me. It was so like mentally strange for me. Um, just again, this overwhelming sensation and experience of just so many things dying and being reborn. I mean, it's really, really intense. And I know that, again, I feel like a lot of it is in the collective. Um, and I talk about it a lot. It's just something I feel a lot. And it's like, I'm very grateful because the more I go through it, even though it's so uncomfortable, the more I learn and trust the process because it has to happen. It's kind of just like the cycle. It's like the pruning, it's like the pruning, the constant kind of regeneration of like, these kind of older things that we needed to survive, that we needed to get through all this trauma. It's like all this stuff now kind of has to come up and be seen. And then now to thrive, it's like there's certain things that like we can't take with us. There's so many ego perceptions. I think that's why this time is so trippy. Again, it's so mental. It's like so much of perception. I don't know what's that quote. Maybe somebody here knows it. Something about the doors of perception. Like if the doors of perception were clear, everything would truly be seen as it is, or something like that. I don't know if anybody knows that quote. I don't even remember who that's from, but that's a good. I feel like that's coming up right now because it's like there's so many things in our perception that I feel like are being cleared. It's like, and that's painful. Like mentally, that's painful when, certain maybe filters you had on in your perception, you didn't even know it, are all of a sudden being stretched, being asked to expand. I think that's what this evolution, this expansion is. It's like this stretching, and it's like, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because it's asking you to be like, it's pulling you in a way, it's pulling you to be more than you think you are. And doesn't that sound grand? And it is grand, but there's something about that that's very uncomfortable for, the parts of us that, have been living in this trauma. Another thing I'll share too, this just came to my mind, is an interesting experience I had. I think this actually was on the full moon, where yeah, it was so emotional. It was so emotional for me. And I actually had this experience where this pain, like I felt like this um, kind of basically this memory of like when I was a baby, one of the first times I felt unlovable. One of the first times, um, I felt like I was unworthy of receiving love. It was very, very deep. It was very, very sad. I just wanted to share that because I think that, that's something we all relate to. It's just crazy how much we've all been through, in our own way, and how these things can carry with us throughout our whole lives. And we don't even realize it, until we have moments like that, where we can kind of remember, oh yeah, I was always worthy of love. I was always lovable. This is true for all of us. I was always lovable. Um, it's just we were born into this density in this world. So that's so beautiful because it's because there's, what a simple, very deep, very painful memory, but what a simple memory, in this case has caused so that has caused like so many filters on my perception, that I'm unaware of, that I am becoming aware of, that perhaps were ways in which I couldn't let love in. Kind of like I was talking about in my last video, a lot of times we cut ourselves off from love, from God's source. Unconsciously, we don't even realize it. So, a lot of this evolution, I think, as well, is learning how to allow that love back in. We had to cut ourselves off for safety, in these moments of trauma in our lives. But once we're back, once we're more integrated, once we're on this path, our higher self is more active within us again. We're adults, we have more protection and experience. That's when we can come back and integrate these things back in us. Back our love, our inner child. We all have this inner child, these inner children. Again, Leo is very associated with children, our inner child. So I think that's another theme that's coming up really strong, is just remembering your inner child. I think this is so amazing because as you turn into a teenager, turn into an adult, that's kind of when your childhood dies. And I think that's kind of, in a way, maybe it was a necessary process to, learn how to be an adult and function in this insane society and, things like that. But then there comes a point when when it's time to reintegrate that inner child again and remember who you really are, because that's kind of who your soul is, coming in fresh. That inner child that was in ecstasy, that loved to play, that was so curious and honest. What did your inner child love to do? Maybe sing or dance or play or act or make up stories. All of these things are so sacred. They're so sacred. It's such a sacred, deep part of us. And I think in a way, our inner child, is supposed to kind of be leading us in a way. I feel like it's very connected to our soul, that ecstatic, creative part of us, being able to integrate that back in a balanced way where, that level of freedom, that level of pure God source joy can again be kind of our guide in what we're doing, but also have this balance of like this integration now where you are an adult. You can nurture that inner child, you can protect yourself, you can protect that inner child from the outside world that oftentimes wants to just crush it right back down, because that's powerful, that's your power. So crazy. So yeah, that's a huge thing, is like the level of which how important it is to have fun. It's so important to have fun here. Whatever you're doing, the fun and the joy and the humor will only help you. You know, even when you're struggling, even when you're going through it, if you can kind of cultivate this like humor about it, um, just have fun. It's so important to have fun. I can't explain that enough. Otherwise life is going to be so dark and doomy and dreary for you. And I don't really resonate with that whole doom thing. I feel like that's like, we all go through it, and there's moments where it's necessary, but to stay in those realms of doom, I just don't really think that's like helpful, honestly. When you realize it's a choice, you have a choice of what you're creating, your experience. Learn from the doom. If the doom's coming up, what's the doom have to tell you? What's the doom have to teach you? Learn from the doom. You don't have to just dwell in you're not really helping anyone by just dwelling in states of doom. It's so funny how all these things are coming up. It's so crazy. I just feel like such information is coming up. Um, but I think the last thing that I'll say on this note for now, before we get into this meditation activation that I'm really looking forward to here, such powerful energies right now. It's so intense. I just want to encourage everyone to, however you can, just take advantage of moments like this, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can literally just be setting intentions, having a meditation, having a fire, painting something, whatever it is for you. Do something that brings you joy, because that's what Leo is about. Leo's about being in the spotlight. Leo's about having fun. Leo's the lion, the sun, the light itself. I mean, hello. Okay, what was I going to say? What was the last thing I was going to say? Basically, I mean, the world is ending. The world is ending and it's being reborn. I mean, um, that's something that can cause a lot of fear. Understandably so, if you got to feel it, like I said. But I think that's also something to, it's like we're going into the unknown, like like the whole collective. That's what I mean. It's such a spiritual thing that's arising, that's happening right now for us individually and collectively, going into this grand unknown. And what really trips me out and kind of cracks me up sometimes is the level to which people want to try to like predict what's going to happen. And why it kind of geeks me out is because like I used to kind of buy into that a lot more, of like, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I think it's good to try to prepare for the future. Most certainly, I definitely do that. um, but I just know, I just find time and time again, it's not what we think it is. And so in that case, I remain humble. But I also know, so what I do, what's funny is we always know what we need to know. We might not know exactly what's going to happen with the collective, with the crumbling of the matrix, with the collapse of all this stuff. Everything is, I think everything is going to collapse and be reborn. I have no idea how or when or what. But what I do know is that we do, as beings, as children of God, we do have divine providence. We do have a divine direction that we can tune into in each moment. And when you tune into that in your heart, you're going to be guided to what is best for you, time and time again. I think 2020 was a great example. Like I think I said this before, 2020 was a really hard and scary time for a lot of people. And I have all the compassion for that. I totally understand that. The world was in complete chaos. And, but I can say, for me, that was one of the best years of my life. And in all of these years, I feel like they might even get harder, but they get better. And why is that? I truly feel like that is because, again, just tapping into this divine guidance, into this love, into this internal, it's such an inside job. So I truly, if anyone is worried about that, because I feel like that's kind of in the air too, and that's probably going to be in the air for a while, is just this kind of like fear of the uncertainty of what's going to happen. And really anything is possible. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It could be super chill. It could be super slow and chill. I mean, it could not be. It could be completely wild. I don't know. But again, I don't fear it because I know in my heart that I am guided, and I'm doing my best every day, and my relationship with God's source is, as close as it can be every day. So I don't have fear about that stuff. I don't worry about that stuff. I don't need to try to I don't know, predict it, because there's just so many different stories. It can be very overwhelming if you're trying to buy into other people's stories about what's going to happen. Again, not saying you shouldn't or should or shouldn't or whatever, do what you feel is right. But I just want to throw that in there because I know that can be kind of scary at this time. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? I don't know. I'm just being honest here. The honesty is so liberating. Yeah, but again, I do know we are divinely guided. I do know we are shifting. I do know and believe that, in my life, I know everything is happening for me, not to me. Even the darkness, even these triggering things, it's always giving me an opportunity to be more free, you know. So I think the greatest thing you can do is build that inner strength, that inner light, that inner power. I think that's the greatest thing you can do, more than anything, because again, that's what's going to really guide you in these, upcoming years of uncertainty. That's what's going to really guide you. So listen to that, that intuition. What's it telling you? What's it guiding you towards? Being able to discern, not having to listen to your fears, but listening to your grounded guidance. What's it guiding you to? Maybe there is things to prepare for. Maybe there is, whatever it is, in your heart, you already know. And I want to read this because thank you so much, CH Dante, for finding this. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. And that's from William Blake, a really great poet and writer from, I think, the 1800s. I actually have one of his books somewhere around here. songs of innocence and experience. Yeah, I love poetry. I love his work, and that is so beautiful. I love that quote. That was a missing puzzle piece. Thank you, thank you. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it came up. And thank you, Tides of Truth. Yeah, what a beautiful quote that is. And that, somebody had the vision to be able to see that, hundreds of years ago, and it's still true. It's timeless truth. That's what we're really doing. That's what I mean. Is like I really try to be as practical as I can be, but it's interesting because this shift is so energetic. It's so spiritual. It's so intuitive. So I think that's what we're really doing. What's really happening to us as individuals and the collective is our perception is being cleansed. And so it's intense because it's like all these things that we thought our very reality that we were perceiving is very real, and that itself is being cleansed, and we're seeing the light is coming on, the light is coming on, the light is coming on, the perception's being cleansed. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, I see that now. Oh, I see that now. Oh, I thought I saw that before, but now it looks totally different. I feel like stuff like that is happening a lot. And it's like, can we be okay to just flow through that? And that's again why that internal, connection to God is, to me, truly supreme, is most important. And even that shifts. Even though it remains constant, even our perception of what God is, and who we are, like all these things are. It's like the very fabric of our reality is shifting because our perception of our consciousness is shifting. So it's very intense. It's very intense. So again, let me just be a reminder, if you're feeling this intensity, you're feeling like you're being stretched, like you're being pulled apart, like everything is shifting, just, I want to remind you that, you're not alone. You're not alone. That's, I think a biggest pillar of why, this community is here, is, so we can be together and be reminders to each other. I think that's the greatest thing. Community's been coming up a lot for me, and even that is something that I thought I understood. And, it's kind of just being revealed to me that it's like, yeah, I had a totally like weird perception about all this stuff. That's kind of what this whole like um, week, I guess, or I don't know how long it's been, time is weird. But that's kind of what I feel like this whole week has been kind of like focused on for me, is just like, yeah, like a lot of these like core things that I think about a lot. It's just like being shown to me in like a totally new light. And it's like, there's that moment initially where it's like, oh my God, I'm on the floor, I'm dying, I'm passing away, I am passing away, RIP. And then it's that ego death I'm trying to talk about. And then that once that moves, that energy is always moving. Once that moves, then it's that rebirth. And it's like, oh my God, now I see so much clearly. Thank God I see so much more clearly. Like I feel so free. That's what comes after that death. So just let that death happen. That's how I feel. That's what I talked about more, especially in my last video about navigating change. Is just how to kind of move through that energy, in my experience, with as much grace as possible, even though a lot of times it doesn't feel graceful. You start to remember that, we're living in this kind of like cyclical rhythm of life. So it's like, there is deaths and there is rebirths, and you don't have to cling to any of it. It is what it is. And there's God in all of it. God is in all of it. When you find God and you remember you're not separate, you find God in all of it. And then that, it will truly guide you. It's such an internal happening. It's such a truly internal happening. This softening, it's such an internal, it's like in the very deepest layers of your being, you start to allow, and it kind of comes out, and it starts to slowly come outward into these other parts of you, to other parts of you, into other parts of you, until it comes into your external life even, and what's around you will also start to reflect this more soft, this more loving, this more graceful, way of being that we can have, first with ourselves and then with others. And there's another quote. I don't know where this, I don't know if this is like a Buddhist proverb, or maybe somebody is familiar with this, about how like the softest thing is actually the hardest thing. That's also a really good analogy. When things that are, I think water is a good example of that. The softest thing, can also be the hardest thing. I don't know. I don't even know where one would find that. I don't know. But I have heard that before. So yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to share. 40 minutes in. I don't think this is going to be too long of a meditation. I don't know. Maybe 15 minutes. Um, yeah, we're just going to kind of flow with it. And it's going to be really beautiful. I definitely recommend doing this today if you can, if you haven't already had some kind of like meditation or ceremony for yourself. It's just beautiful. Any day, every day is a celebration, truly. And in moments like this, I think it's especially potent. Or if you're doing something, or if you're distracted right now, that's fine. Maybe you can come back later and do this tonight or something. Whatever works for you. Again, if you're watching this in the replay, it's just as potent. So yeah, golden heart meditation. Just an opportunity to this is an opportunity to energetically heal and clear anything maybe old that's no longer serving you, and pull in this new light, call back all your power, receive anything that maybe you're meant to receive right now, and then also giving back to, yourself and your loved ones, your community, and, all of creation, giving and sending love to all of creation through this golden heart meditation. And again, it's so beautiful to send love to humanity, to send love to others, to send love to the earth, to the animals. When you give love, you receive more love, so it's like love is infinitely abundant. All right, beautiful friends. Thank you all for being here so much. I just love you all. I'm truly so honored, so grateful for everything. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful time to be here. All right, so we're going to get started here. And if you can go ahead and get comfortable, relax, however that is for you. Breathe in, filling your lungs with this oxygen, with this energy. Don't be afraid to just breathe it all in and let it all out. It's definitely okay to have an audible inhale and audible exhale. Really, really move that energy in your body. Closing your eyes if you'd like to now. Continuing these beautiful breaths. Grounding into your body. Feeling your body. What does your body feel like? Maybe it feels heavy. Maybe there's certain areas in your body that are calling out to you. Just bring your awareness to them. Allow your awareness to be observing yourself right now. Observing what we're doing right now. Just watching. Arriving. Feeling this infinite presence that is all around us, that is within us, that is in the space around us. Allow yourself to be soothed, however you can be, soothing yourself into a state of relaxation. That is the theta brainwave. That is where your soul can come in and you can see it more easily in these relaxed, peaceful states. Just for this moment, for these next few minutes, you can let go of any worries or concerns or problems. Just be in this very present moment. find that 0 point magic. You can intend and visualize a beautiful ball of light around you, your field, your torus, your love light, protecting you, blessing you, nourishing you. You can set any intentions you may have, intending that we do not consent to any infringement, and then calling in the most beautiful love. If you want to call in your angels, your guardian angels, God source, your higher self, your guides, spirit animals, if you have anything of that, or not, either way is fine. But now is a good time to call in your light and your power. Just feeling, just being, tuning into these energies today in this very moment. Maybe you feel buzzing, maybe you feel tingling. And if you feel nothing, that's okay too. Whatever you're feeling is perfect. And in this moment, we're going to call upon the violet flame of Saint Germain. The violet flame of transmutation. Calling upon this flame and filling our whole field with it, filling our whole bodies with this violet flame. Intending and asking now that it may transmute all old, negative, or stagnant energy in our bodies, in our fields that's no longer serving us. Letting go of these old attachments. Feeling and visualizing and or intending this beautiful violet flame in your whole body, mind, heart, and soul. We intend that it now can transmute any old or stagnant negative energies no longer serving us. And if you'd like to, you can extend this violet flame energy all around you, into the space around you. And if you would like, you can even share this violet flame with any of your loved ones without infringing upon their boundaries. If they would like a little bit of sacred alchemy, energetic transmutation. You can extend it around your home, around your space, around your pets, intending to transmute any old negative energies or attachments without harming anyone. Allow it to be, and so it is. The power of intention. Feels so good. That sacred flame transmuting everything. And when you're ready, feeling purified and cleansed in this fire, you can now start to visualize and call in the highest love light. And imagine it filling up now your whole body and your whole field. Feeling it spread through your head, clearing your mind and thoughts, charging them with love. Feeling the love of your family and friends of light who love you so much. Moving through your body, through your head, down to your neck, into your heart and arms, to your solar plexus, your center, your willpower. So easily filling with light through your powerful attention and focus. Subtle yet powerful. Down into your sacral chakra, into your pelvis, your space of creation, sacred space of creation, and down into your root chakra, grounding in, feeling this light easily move through your legs, knees, to your feet and toes. Feeling the space around you like a big egg, just surrounded with this bright light. Allow it to be luminous. Allow it to be glowing. Allow yourself to be receiving this glow. That is always flowing into you like a waterfall from God. Always flowing into you. Always, always, always. Just taking a moment to appreciate it now. Spreading this light as far as you want. And now I'm going to ask you to come into your heart and focus on your heart. If you want, you can put your hand on your heart, connecting to this most sacred portal. Feeling the burning flame within your heart, the love, compassion, the power, the ferocity, your sacred portal, your soul. Focus your attention now on this beautiful flame in your heart and see this golden energy emanating from your heart. You may feel this most beautiful love, this eternal love, this Christ consciousness, Yeshua, the lion, the sun, this invincible force that is within you, always. Feel that beautiful love. This golden energy emanating from your heart center, like the sun itself. This purifying love. And now intend and visualize this golden energy spreading from your heart into every part of you. Nourishing all the places that need it the most for you at this time. Feeling this infinite connection that you are, that you have always been so love, so lovable, so loving. Imagine it expanding into all the space around you, blessing your whole field, nourishing you. Is at this time, if you want to take a moment to enjoy this, so you can see if any visions or messages come through for you, and I will be silent. Now, this huge, expansive golden energy between us, throughout time, throughout space. If you'd like to join me in expanding this beautiful golden energy further and further out, expanding it infinitely out with the intention of assisting those around us who are open to it. Sending this golden, infinite Christ love to your loved ones, to your family, your friends, animal companions. Straight from your heart to theirs, sending this love. Easy, subtle, yet powerful. Allowing it to be what it is, trusting it, knowing it is enough. As always. Like a big wave, this golden energy blessing everything that it touches as much as it can without crossing anyone's boundaries. Now sending this love out to all of humanity, all those who are open to it, sending love to all those who are in pain or sorrow or shame, confusion, fear. Sending love to those who really need it, who are starved of love. Sending love to everyone. Sending love to those who are in joy, who are in love, who are in peace and freedom, sending them even more love unconditionally. All the men, all the women, all the children, all the animals, sacred animals assisting us as well, spreading our golden love to the animals, the pets, the wild animals, the insects, the bugs, the plants, the trees, the fruits, the earth itself, the rocks and the soil. Seeing this connection between all life, how it's all meant to serve and assist one another, sending love to this whole divine design, gratitude to be a part of it, and to be rebirthing the sacredness now. Sending love to all of creation, as well as all of our ancestors and guides, guardian angels, beautiful non-physical beings of light that are assisting us every day. Gratitude. Gratitude to God, to the universe infinitely. Feeling yourself giving all this love to God, and God giving all this love to you in an infinite, never-ending circuit. That is truly the 8-8, the infinity, the infinite flow of love, giving and receiving always, always, always. Taking a few more moments to just bask in this love. Noticing any other ideas or sensations or knowings or intuitions that may arise or may not. It's perfect. All is as it's meant to be in this moment. This beautiful, generous, giving energy, the golden heart within you, infinitely powerful, infinitely loving, infinitely infinite. Breathing this in, breathing in this golden light. May it nourish you as much as it possibly can. And when you feel like you're ready, you can come back into your heart, bring your focus back into your heart, back into your center, feeling it glowing, feeling it deeply connected to your soul, to the Creator. Grounding back into your body. Breathing. Grounding in as you get ready to come back from this beautiful, quick but potent journey into the golden heart. Calling all your power back now. Calling all your power back now. Feeling how loved you are. Feeling that you yourself are love. that you are capable of anything in this love. Tuned into the very source of creation itself, remembering the power of the golden heart. And when you're ready, taking your time, you can begin to maybe move around in your body, take another final breath, being gentle, no need to rush yourself. Maybe you can even kind of pat yourself like I'm doing. My heart feels so open. Coming back, you can, when you're ready, open your eyes. Bringing your power back, feeling this openness and this expansion. If you'd like, you can keep it. If you'd like, you can kind of seal it back up. You know, if you're going to go out in public or do any kind of strenuous stuff, if you want, you can kind of pull it back in with your sacred boundaries. Or if you're just going to keep flowing, you can just keep it open. Wow, that's so powerful. That's so beautiful. That really is the power of the golden heart. It's so beautiful. It's so expansive. I know I needed that. I hope that was helpful for you guys too. Thank you for sharing all of your love. So mighty. So mighty. You know, I think throughout that meditation live, at least we had about 12 or 13 kind of oscillating, at least that's what YouTube says, sacred numbers. And even just, you know, it maybe to some people it doesn't seem like a lot of people, but you know, I could just really feel how powerful that was with those who were tuning in. So thank you for being here live. I really felt your mighty heart, your beautiful heart. Thank you for taking time out of your day to sit with this and to, you know, to really activate your field like this in a way that not only blesses you, but it blesses all those around you. It really is such a blessing, you know, and it does start again from the internal level, from the energetic level. I hope, you know, you have a really great experience with this. Not only you, but your loved ones and those that you did send love to. You know, they really can feel it. They, you know, when maybe they realize it, maybe they don't. But when you send this high love to people, it really does bless them. And like I've been saying multiple times, you know, when you bless others, you yourself are blessed. Love is abundant. You know, the more you give, the more you receive. So it's so beautiful to give love. So easy, so simple. And you always receive that love too. Wow, what a release. Hello, Asia. Good to see you here. So much love. All the hearts to all of you. I think, you know, I feel so complete with that. Thank you for tuning in. It's so intense. It's like, I feel like at first it was like, again, it's just kind of like this building up and all this stuff's being released and all this stuff's coming off. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, golden heart shining out. A lot of things seem to be like that. So, gotta trust the process. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Everyone live, God bless you. Everyone in the replay, I still feel you. You know, you are felt because energy is beyond time and space. So that is a very powerful meditation. Feel free to come back to it anytime or kind of, you know, create your own for the golden heart. I hope you all have the most beautiful Lionsgate portal. We are in the middle of it. You know, we're still going to be feeling these energies for the next week or so. This is very big. So, you know, take advantage of it. You know, that's what I would say. Find that love in your heart again, the sun, the Leo, the lion. Shine your light, use your voice, you know, play, have fun, Remember your inner child. Remember your soul. Remember who you are, on these deeper levels. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there authentically and be in the spotlight and be unapologetic. That's the word. Unapologetic, unafraid, unashamed, untethered, being who you really are. And that's how you find your soul tribe. That's how you find your community. And for those who maybe don't like it or are triggered by it, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, because that's just, um, you know, you're just a reflection. You're just a reflection. It's never personal. You might reflect in some people things that they really love. You might reflect in some people things that they really um, don't understand or don't want to understand, and that's okay. But you find your tribe, find your soul family, find the people that want to love you and build you and nurture you and uplift you, encourage you unconditionally because they love you no matter what. Even if you do make a mistake. Those are really your people. And again, it always starts with ourselves and loving ourselves no matter what, and having grace and mercy with ourselves. It's never too late. There's always opportunities for freedom. Even if you do make a mistake, there's always new opportunities for freedom because God is so gracious. We don't even understand how gracious God is. God is very gracious. So I just like to remember that and share that, and again, be so gracious with myself and with others. Okay, so hard to leave. It's always so hard to get off of here, but hopefully I'll be back very soon. Love you all so much. Thank you all. Thank you all. And um, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Giving and receiving again. It's truly such a unified experience. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys all have the best day, and I will see you soon. I'm gonna love to all of you. Have so much fun. Hi, Richard. Hi, Alex. Coming in at the tail end. I'm glad I could say hello to you. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. We had some messages and we flowed, um, and then we had a really powerful meditation. So, yeah. All right. Bye, everyone. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful day.